Alright guys, welcome back to the session on visualization. Now this is the second part of visualization. Here we'll be learning the Seaborn library. In the previous in the previous part we have learned about the matplotlib, but here we are going to learn Seaborn. Seaborn plots are more beautiful than considered to matplot, but matplotlib is still important because that creates the base. Alright. So guys, for this notebook also you can still refer the same link. This is my GitHub repository. In this repository, you will find visualization 2 file or this particular file. All right. Now I have again done all the basic imports. You can see NumPy and Pandas. Matplotlib is again required. Why it is required, you'll understand that gradually. And you can see a new import over here, that is Seaborn. Importing Seaborn as SNS. Then obviously we need the same data set that we have used in the previous part. So again I'm reading that CSV file cars.csv, and this file also is available on the same repository. You can just access it from there. Now we always start with the basic, so I'm going to show you the basic line plot. So guys, everything, all the functions remain same. That is plt.figure is used for the figure, then x labels, titles, everything remains same, and at the bottom we have plt.show. But what is different over here right now is, remember we used to do plt.plot, right? And we used to pass x comma y, correct? In this scenario, the x is nothing but an array that goes from 0 to 9 using the arange function, and y is nothing but the square root of x, right? Y is exactly the square root of x. So guys, if you want to work with Seaborn, then we'll not use PLT. That is, we will not use the Matplotlib library. Instead, we're gonna use the Seaborn library, and we'll be saying SNS dot line plot. If you're using a Matplotlib, it is simple PLT dot plot. But if you're using Seaborn, you have to say SNS dot line plot x comma y, and you can see a simple line plot, but this time using a Seaborn library. So guys, only this changes. That's all. Rest all remains same. Okay. So we're gonna quickly see the other plots. Now moving on to histogram. And guys, when you're using a Seaborn library, a histogram is known as a displot. All right. So again, doing the same part, that is plt.plot. Plt.figure. This will help you in initializing the figure and providing the size of the figure. Then at the bottom we have plt.show. You can do whatever you want in the between, but right now, if you remember, for matplotlib we used to do plt.hist, right? And then whatever variable you have here. Let's say I want to use a data frame and I want to use this time the price column. I want to see the distribution of price. But guys, you will not use plt.hist. Instead, you're going to use a Seaborn library, that is SNS dot. The function is displot. Okay. So guys, the function is SNS dot displot, and then you pass your argument over here. Let's run the code, and you can see some warning. Just avoid the warning for now. And you can see this is a Seaborn displot or the histogram. And guys, the best part of this is it already provides some labels. So you can see your price is already provided over here, and it shows a nice, like a line, or you can say a line over the plot. So it's easy to understand the distribution. Same thing if you want to do with width. Same thing if you want to do with the width, you can do it. So after that, right after that, I'll do it over here. But instead of price, I'll pass width. The width column that we have done in the previous part also. And here you can see the width column, kind of normally distributed, right? So guys, that is the difference in a matplotlib and a Seaborn histogram. Here you just need sns.displot. That's all. What about the bins? Yes, guys, the bins remains the same. You can just put a comma and pass the bins over here. Let's say you want 20 bins. So now they're gonna be 20 bins. All right. Okay. Perfect. So that was all about the line plot and histogram of Seaborn. Moving on to the count plot. Okay. So guys, if you remember bar plot from the first part of visualization, bar plot is nothing but again a frequency plot, but for categorical data. Here it is known as count plot. The name changes. That's all. Okay, so let me start with the code. Just give me a minute. So obviously, the few basic things that we're gonna have is plt dot figure, where you can apply the figure. At the bottom we have plt dot show, right? And in between, if it was matplotlib, then what you would have done, you would have used the plot function where you pass the kind equal to bar. But since you're using Seaborn, we say sns dot countplot. Okay, where you have to pass two arguments. The first argument is your data. So what is my data right now, guys? My data is the data frame that I'm using. All right, this data frame over here, this particular data frame, and from that particular data frame, the column that I need to use. So let's say on the x-axis, I want to show the body style. As whichever you want, you work with a make also, whatever you want, right? So you can see on the x-axis we have the body style, and also you can see it already gets the label automatically. So you don't have to provide the label over here, and it shows the count. Okay, so that is the difference between a count plot and a bar plot. You just have to do a small change in the syntax. Now remember, guys, the horizontal bar plot, the same thing can be done over here. Let's copy, paste. What we need to do is the data remains the same, guys. It's the data frame. But what you can do, instead of x equal to body style, you can say y is equal to body style. Now you see the on the y axis you have the body style, and on the x axis you have the count. So yes, small change. Instead of x you pass y. Guys, let me tell you one thing which I should have told in earlier also, that this session is something that you should watch only if you have watched visualization 1, right? As the first part of the visualizations, because here we are just changing the syntax. What about these plots? The theory is something that we have covered earlier. So here we are just working with the syntax. All right. So yes, we are done with the count plot. Yeah, one more thing I would like to show you in count plot, which is very nice and important. So considering a simple count plot again over here. Now, guys, this is a simple plot which shows the count of each body style. But if you wish, you can pass a third variable. Sorry, another variable, that is hue. What hue does exactly, you'll understand in a minute. Let's say fuel. On the hue, I'll say fuel type. Guys, if you remember, there is a column called fuel type that has only two types of fuel, that is either gas or diesel. So you can see the count plot is further divided as per the fuel type. So convertible has no fuel type which is of diesel. So you can see the blue color is for gas and this color is for diesel. So you can see here all the convertibles are only gas. On hatchback, mostly it is gas and very few on the diesel. Sedan has again most of the gas and these much diesel. Correct. So that is all about hue, guys. Hue will help you in adding a third variable. All right, or an another variable. All right. So that was all about count plot. Now moving on to the next part is heat map. Okay, talking about heat map. So I hope you remember this part, guys. df dot calling the correlation function. Yep. What does this correlation function does? It shows the correlation values for each column against all the other columns, right? But let's say you don't want to show this table. Instead of that, you really want to show a nice, a chart or something like that. So that can be done by calling sns dot heat map function, and inside heat map you need to pass this, that is df dot that is correlation function. Now let's run the code and check out. So you can see that instead of the instead of the correlation table, you have a plot like this. How to interpret this? Okay, for that let me explain you the scale. So guys, you can see the darker the color, the more negatively correlated, and more brighter color is more positively correlated. So wherever you see a bright color, there is a positive correlation. For example, uh, let's consider price. All right, So price has a brighter color with engine size. That means there's a good positive correlation with engine size. It has a bright color with width, so it has a good positive correlation with width. There's a dark color for city mileage and highway mileage. That means it is negatively correlated with city mileage and highway mileage. Alright. And if there's a very bad correlation, that color is somewhere between the light and the dark color, somewhere over here. Over here. Alright. Now guys, instead of a plot like this, so let me also add PLT dot show. So guys, instead of a plot like this, what if you also want to show the values? Yes, you can do that by passing this argument called and not equal to true. You need to pass an argument called and not equal to, that basically stands for annotations. Do you need the annotations? Oh, sorry, it's double N. Yes, so now it's going to show you the values as well. So not just the color, you also see the values. So again, brighter color with width has a bright color with price, so you can see the value is very high. Similarly, price has a brighter color with engine size, so again the the value is very high, and you can see the negative correlations here. That's why the color is dark over here. Okay guys, so that was all about heat map. Now if you don't like this color pattern, you can change this color pattern. I'll paste it over here. How to change the color pattern is you can pass an argument called cmap, and there are various different types of color patterns. One I remember is this viridis. So if I pass the cmap as viridis, you can see a different color pattern over here, where you can see guys, the more negative correlation, it is more on the bluish side, and more positive correlation, it is more on the yellowish side, correct? So it depends whatever color pattern you want, but I don't remember all the color patterns. I remember this. If you wish, you can do a research on the different cmap values. Okay guys, so I hope the heat map is clear. It is pretty straightforward and very simple. Moving on to the next one, that is scatter plot. So guys, before going on to scatter plot, let me again just do go back and do a small revision. So guys, these are the plots that we have already seen in matplotlib. So here only the syntax changes and the name changes. So histogram becomes displot, bar plot becomes count plot. All right, and you can see there are some new added features over here, where you can add a view. You can add an information about a different variable. We had correlation table, but here Seaborn gives you a new function called heat map. Basically, a heat map is nothing but the same correlation table, but with colors, with color patterns, and all those stuff. Now, scatter plot is again, guys, something that you have seen in matplotlib, but again, I'll show you over here how the syntax is different over here. So, same way you call plt dot figure, and remember you used to call plt dot scatter, right? But instead of plt dot scatter, this time you'll be calling sns dot scatter. Right? So you can see only the syntax changes to sns dot scatterplot. Now, what are the arguments that you need to pass? The first argument that you need to pass is the data. All right. So what is my data, guys? My data is nothing but the data frame, the cars.csv data frame. All right. That is nothing but df. And then what do you want to show on the x-axis? What do you want to show on the y-axis? So let's say on the x-axis I want to have width, and on the y-axis I want to have the target, that is price. So there it is. There you can see again the same scatter plot, but a little different. All right. Again, what is the advantage? Again, it has the labels already provided, so you don't have to provide the labels separately. At the end, I'll say plt dot show. Okay, perfect. Uh, is there something new that we can do? Yes, definitely we can. And let me show you guys. For a scatter plot also, you can actually provide a third information, that is, it is already a plot between the width and the price, right? But if you wish, you can provide a hue, that is an information of another variable, and let's say this is on the basis of the fuel type. Guys, you notice here again the same scatter plot, but each dot has a different color on the basis of their fuel type. So this particularly over here, this is a diesel, and all the blues are of gas. Okay. Let me just show one last example. So let's say it's the same scatter plot, that is between the width and the price, but this time you want to show a different hue. Let's say the hue will be on the basis of the body style. Okay. So you can see all the cars, again, their distribution of the width and the price. So as the width increase, the price also increase. But what is their body style is also provided with the help of these colors. Correct. So you can see the most expensive car is over here, which is I guess a hardtop. It's a hardtop or a convertible. I guess it is convertible. Okay, whatever it is. And the most cheapest car is over here. I guess it's a hatchback. Right? Okay, perfect. So that is the best part of the scatter plot through Seaborn. It allows you to add extra information as well. Okay, guys. So that is the first part of the Seaborn chapter. All right, that's the first part. And in the next part, we'll be seeing a different type of plot that you haven't seen in visualization one. All right. So stay tuned for that.